Hello everybody in Astroladaland. I am your relationship astrologer here at Astrolada with the Astro Weather Watch. What's going on this week? I'm using Australian times here. So if you're in the United States, you can usually add a day, subtract a day from what I'm saying. So on the 6th of April in Australia, which will be the 5th of April, usually in the United States, we're about a day ahead, Venus will trine Mars at 25 degrees. This is a beautiful energy that occurs actually quite rarely compared to other celestial aspects that occur. And this could see you dancing in the streets with all the passion and the vim for life that we would otherwise crave. You know, our social capacity is increased at this time. Our tender side is invigorated. Our desire nature becomes romanticized. This is the perfect balance of young masculine and young feminine energy flowing out from ourselves or coming into ourselves and mingling and expressing through we as vessels of energy. It's a time to start creative projects or to put your all into your passions on the 6th of April. This includes the creativity involved in maintaining relationships. And if you put your energy there, you're going to be greatly satisfied around the 6th of April. Then on the 7th of April, Mercury retrograde is going to end. Mercury will be at 26 degrees of Pisces. Now we know that the whole gist of Mercury retrograde is the idea of It's a time to revamp, renew, research, reconnect, resolve. And now that Mercury is not only finished with his retrograde motion, but he is also at his most powerful and direct on the 7th of April, it's really time to get going. So I ask you, my friends, have you researched your next big step in life? If you have, then it's time to make a move. Have you resolved conflicts and tensions that were present in your life during Mercury retrograde? Well, you can celebrate things feeling a lot lighter. Have you reviewed decisions in your life that needed some second thoughts during Mercury retrograde period? If yes, then it's now time for you to move forward with some solid new direction. What are you waiting for, my friends? Now also on the 7th of April, Venus is going to conjunct Saturn at 25 degrees of Pisces. It's all happening around those latter degrees of Pisces and the early degrees of Aries this year, my friends. Venus conjunct Saturn is an annual occurrence, so this is not unusual, but it happens sort of about 3 times every 30 years or so in the sign of Pisces. And this will be the last time that they'll conjunct in the sign of Pisces. So we won't be having this energy for another 30 years. And this is my favorite astrological energy. Said no one ever. Venus and Saturn. Big sigh. This is that day in the year that we actually don't want to engage with much. Now, we've got a good thing happening with Mercury turning direct, but we've also got Saturn-Venus conjunction. So we may feel emotionally estranged. We may feel burdened by financial responsibilities. Saturn's responsibility, Venus is our financial side. We might feel that we are squashing down our feelings and denying our feelings for no apparent reason. There might even be an energy of a general fear of being our true, authentic selves, lest we risk the criticism and disapproval of other people. That's very Saturn-Venus conjunction. Believe me, I have that in my natal chart. I will vouch for that one. So we want to channel the best of this energy that we can. What can we do? Well, we can get stirred into some sort of action by injustices around us. Saturn-Venus can get actually quite deeply involved in injustices, usually in a more conservative manner. People who have Venus-Saturn conjunction in their natal charts are often brilliant occultists as well. This is a very ancient realization that Venus and Saturn conjunct gives deep powers in occult practices. And so when this transit occurs in the sky, we can all do a bit of a deep dive into occult practices like astrology. We can sort of even take a magnifying glass and do a really deep dive into our finances or into some of our relationship hang-ups and problems as well, and try to refine those or rebuild those in some way under this energy. So you can use this energy for the greater good. I just encourage you to go there. Then on the 11th of April, Mercury is going to make a conjunction with the North Node at 27 degrees. This is a time for us to find our voice. on the 11th of April, to speak up and be heard. This is important to do this, actually, to say your piece, to say what's on your heart, to say what's on your mind, because by doing so, when Mercury is conjunct with the North Node, we are going to heal old wounds. We're going to heal psychic scars through the sharing of ideas, through the sharing of concepts, and to do so with people of knowledge, to do so with people that you respect and admire, and get their, you don't have to get their approval, but to just put it before them. These are my thoughts, and this can empower your life on an energetic level to do so on the 11th of April, my friends. Then we're going to be having a full moon on the 13th of April, conjunct with a fixed star speaker squaring Mars in the sign of Libra. And this is going to be one of the more powerful new moons of 2025. Why, I hear you ask? Well, the moon is going to be in a singleton position. This is a very powerful place for the moon to be, in that singleton energy. So it's very important to understand this full moon, because it's going to bring a lot of influence, a lot of change. It's going to illuminate any matters that need to be ended, resolved, and released, especially if you have personal planets around the 23rd degree of Libra. And also on the 13th of April, another thing that's happening is the end of Venus retrograde at 24 degrees of Pisces. Now, traditional astrology tells us that when Venus goes direct, it's our green light to enjoy the pleasures of life, love, and money in all their fullness and abundance again. We may feel that the pleasures and beauties of life have not been at their fullest capacity, or our ability to enjoy them has not been at the fullest capacity during the Venus retrograde period. And now we get to actually indulge in those things or experience those things and actually feel more appreciation for them than we may have done over the last 40 days of Venus retrograde. Venus shows us what we value in ourselves and what we value in the material world. So it's a time for introspecting and asking what was valuable in our lives prior to March, when Venus went retrograde, and what has changed in our value system since Venus went retrograde, in your material situation, your romantic situation, your ability to enjoy love, beauty, and delight. Now, for all that Venus retrograde 2025 has taught us, let us be thankful, my friends, because usually without knowing it, we have grown, we have changed, and we have evolved as a result of Venus's journey to the underworld and now rebirth into her direct motion for the next 18 months. Something to celebrate. I'll catch you with the Astro Weather Watch next week. Thank you for being here at AstroLada, my beautiful friends.